Once upon a time, in a lush forest teeming with life, there lived a clever fox named Jin. Jin was known far and wide for his cunning ways, and his knack for outsmarting even the most cunning of creatures. One day, as Jin roamed through the forest in search of his next meal, he stumbled upon a vine heavy with plump, ripe grapes. With a gleam in his eye and a rumble in his belly, Jin leapt towards the vine, eager to taste the sweet fruit that dangled just out of reach. But no matter how hard he tried, Jin found himself unable to reach the grapes. Time and time again, he leapt and stretched, only to fall back to the ground empty-handed. Frustrated and hungry, Jin let out a frustrated growl and turned away from the vine, convinced that the grapes were sour anyway. As Jin wandered through the forest, his hunger gnawing at him, he couldn't shake the memory of the tantalizing grapes that had eluded him. Try as he might to forget about them, the image of the plump, juicy fruit lingered in his mind, tormenting him with its sweetness. But then, as Jin stumbled upon a patch of wild berries growing by the side of the path, he had a sudden realization. The berries might not be as large or as succulent as the grapes, but they were still delicious in their own right. And more importantly, they were within reach. With a grateful heart, Jin began to feast on the berries, savoring their tart sweetness and feeling a sense of satisfaction wash over him. In that moment, he understood the true meaning of non-attachment, that by letting go of his desire for the grapes, he had opened himself up to the abundance of the present moment. From that day forth, Jin approached life with a newfound sense of contentment and gratitude, knowing that true happiness lay not in the pursuit of desires, but in the simple joys that surrounded him each and every day. And as he roamed through the forest, his belly full and his heart light, he whispered a silent thank you to the grapes that had taught him the most valuable lesson of all, that in letting go of desires, one could find true freedom and peace. In the realm where time flowed like a river and the winds whispered tales of old, there existed a legend as timeless as the stars, the story of the strength of the phoenix. It spoke of the indomitable resilience and unwavering renewal found in rising from the ashes of adversity. In a distant land where the sky met the earth in a blaze of color and the forests sang with the melody of life, there dwelled a magnificent creature known as the phoenix, a mythical bird of fire and light, whose very existence symbolized the power of transformation and rebirth. For centuries, the phoenix soared through the heavens, its feathers ablaze with the radiance of 1,000 suns, leaving trails of light in its wake. But as with all beings, the phoenix faced trials and tribulations that tested its strength and resolve. One fateful day, a great calamity befell the land, engulfing the world in flames and leaving destruction in its wake. The once vibrant forests were reduced to smoldering embers, and the creatures that called them home were left homeless and bereft. Amidst the devastation, the phoenix found itself consumed by the flames, its once vibrant feathers reduced to ash and its spirit battered by the ferocity of the inferno. But even in the darkest depths of despair, the phoenix refused to surrender to the flames, for it knew that true strength lay not in the absence of adversity, but in the courage to rise from the ashes and begin anew. And so, with a heart full of determination and a spirit undaunted by the flames, the phoenix summoned forth its inner fire and rose from the ashes, its feathers shimmering with newfound strength and resilience. With each beat of its wings, it breathed life back into the scorched earth, transforming the desolation into a vibrant tapestry of color and life. As the flames subsided and the smoke cleared, the land was reborn, a testament to the boundless resilience and unwavering renewal found in overcoming adversity. And in the heart of the phoenix, a flame burned bright, a flame that would forever illuminate the path of those who dared to rise from the ashes and embrace the infinite possibilities of rebirth. Deep in the heart of a rugged wilderness, where ancient forests stood tall and mighty mountains pierced the sky, there dwelled a formidable bear named Grizzle. With fur as dark as the midnight sky and eyes that glinted with wisdom and strength, Grizzle roamed the wilderness with a majestic presence that commanded respect from all who crossed his path. In the shadow of the towering pines, Grizzle lived a life of solitude and resilience. He traversed the rugged terrain with ease, his powerful muscles rippling beneath his fur as he foraged for food and sheltered in the caverns of the mountains. But amidst the solitude of the wilderness, Grizzle carried a quiet wisdom, a strength born of facing adversity head-on and emerging stronger for it. For he knew that true power lay not in the size of one's claws or the ferocity of one's roar, but in the resilience of the spirit, the indomitable will to rise above even the most daunting challenges. One day, as Grizzle roamed the forest in search of sustenance, he stumbled upon a young fox trapped beneath a fallen tree, its lead pinned beneath the weight of the branches. The fox whimpered in pain, its eyes wide with fear as it struggled to free itself from the crushing weight. Moved by compassion, Grizzle approached the trapped fox and with a mighty heave, lifted the fallen tree off its leg, freeing it from its captivity. The fox looked up at Grizzle with gratitude shining in its eyes, its tail wagging in relief. "Thank you, noble bear," the fox said, its voice trembling with emotion. "You have shown me the true meaning of strength, the power to overcome even the greatest obstacles and emerge victorious in the face of adversity." Grizzle nodded solemnly, his heart swelling with pride at the fox's words. For he knew that true strength was not measured in the size of one's claws or the ferocity of one's roar, but in the willingness to lend a helping hand to those in need, to stand tall in the face of adversity and to never falter in the pursuit of what is right. And as Grizzle and the fox journeyed through the wilderness together, their bond forged in the fires of adversity and strengthened by the power of resilience, they knew that no challenge was too great, no obstacle too daunting. For they carried within them the indomitable spirit of the bear, a spirit that would guide them through even the darkest of nights and lead them to the light of a new dawn. In a cozy village nestled among rolling hills and meandering streams, there lived a curious cat named Luna, with fur as black as the midnight sky and eyes that sparkled like precious gems. Luna roamed the cobblestone streets with a boundless curiosity that set her apart from the other animals. From the moment she opened her eyes each morning, Luna's mind buzzed with questions and wonders about the world around her. She would chase after fluttering butterflies, pounce on rustling leaves, and perch atop the highest rooftops, her gaze fixed on the distant horizon as she pondered the mysteries of the universe. But amidst her playful adventures, Luna carried a quiet wisdom, a wisdom born of her insatiable curiosity and open-mindedness. For she knew that true growth and self-discovery lay not in the answers she sought, but in the journey of exploration and discovery itself. One day, as Luna roamed the village square, she stumbled upon a group of travelers gathered around a weathered old storyteller. Intrigued by the tales of far-off lands and exotic creatures, Luna crept closer, her ears pricked with interest. The storyteller spun tales of distant lands where dragons soared through the skies and mermaids danced beneath the waves, capturing Luna's imagination in a whirlwind of excitement and wonder. And as the sun dipped below the horizon and the stars began to twinkle overhead, Luna knew that she could no longer resist the call of adventure that tugged at her heartstrings. With a flick of her tail and a playful meow, Luna bid farewell to the familiar sights and sounds of the village and set off into the unknown, her heart brimming with anticipation and her mind open to the endless possibilities that lay ahead. As Luna journeyed through forests and fields, mountains and valleys, she encountered beings of every shape and size, each with their own stories to tell and lessons to impart. And with each new encounter, Luna's curiosity only grew stronger, her mind expanding with the knowledge and wisdom she gained along the way. In the depths of a dark forest, Luna met a wise old owl who spoke of the importance of open-mindedness and the beauty of embracing the unknown. True wisdom, the owl whispered, lies not in the answers we seek, but in the questions we ask, the willingness to explore the depths of our curiosity and venture into the unknown with an open heart and mind. Inspired by the owl's words, Luna continued her journey with renewed determination, her curiosity leading her ever onward towards new horizons and exciting adventures. And though her path may have been filled with twists and turns, challenges and obstacles, Luna knew that as long as she remained true to herself and followed the guiding light of her curiosity, she would always find her way home to the place where her journey began and where her heart would forever reside. In the heart of an ancient forest, where moonlight danced through the canopy of towering trees and the air was thick with the fragrance of wildflowers, there lived a wise old owl named Orion, with eyes as bright as the stars and feathers that shimmered like silver in the moonlight. Orion was revered as the keeper of knowledge and wisdom in the forest. One tranquil evening, as the forest was bathed in the soft glow of the full moon, a young squirrel named Suri approached Orion with a curious gleam in her eye. "Oh, wise Orion," she said, her voice trembling with excitement, "I have heard tales of your great wisdom and keen insight. Please, share with me the secrets of the universe." Orion regarded Suri with a solemn nod, his eyes sparkling with ancient wisdom. "Patience, young one," he said, his voice a gentle whisper in the stillness of the night. "The path to wisdom is not found in seeking answers, but in learning to observe and discern the truths that lie hidden within the world around us." Eager to learn, Suri followed Orion deep into the heart of the forest, where they came upon a clearing bathed in the silvery light of the moon. Here, Orion began to teach Suri the art of keen observation, showing her how to listen to the whispers of the wind, watch the dance of shadows upon the forest floor, and feel the rhythm of life pulsing through the earth beneath her feet. As Suri honed her senses and opened her heart to the wisdom of the forest, she began to see the world with new eyes, a world alive with hidden truths and subtle mysteries waiting to be uncovered. Together, Orion and Suri embarked on a journey of discovery, exploring the depths of the forest and unraveling the secrets of the natural world. With each new revelation, Suri's understanding deepened, and she grew wiser with each passing day. One moonlit night, as they sat beneath the stars, Suri turned to Orion with gratitude shining in her eyes. "Thank you, wise Orion," she said, her voice filled with awe and wonder. "Thanks to your guidance, I have learned to see the world with clarity and discernment, to observe the hidden truths that lie beyond the surface of things." Orion smiled, his eyes twinkling with pride. "Remember, young one," he said, his voice a gentle reminder in the stillness of the night, "true wisdom is not found in the pursuit of knowledge alone, but in the willingness to open your heart and mind to the beauty and complexity of the world around you." And so, as the moon dipped below the horizon and the forest fell silent, Suri vowed to carry the lessons of the wise old owl with her always, embracing the importance of keen observation and discernment on her spiritual journey through life. And though the path ahead may be long and winding, she knew that with Orion's guidance and the wisdom of the forest as her companion, she would navigate the challenges that lay ahead with grace and clarity, forever guided by the wisdom of the owl. In a land where the sky kissed the earth and the winds whispered secrets among the trees, there dwelled a magnificent bird named Aurora. With feathers of vibrant hues that shimmered in the sunlight and eyes that sparkled with the wisdom of ages, Aurora soared above the treetops with grace and freedom. Yet, despite her majestic wings and boundless spirit, Aurora felt a weight upon her heart, a longing for something beyond the confines of the forest, something she could not name but felt deep within her soul. One day, as Aurora perched atop the tallest tree, her gaze wandered beyond the horizon, where the distant mountains rose like giants against the sky. And in that moment, she felt a stirring within her, a calling to explore the unknown, to venture beyond the familiar and embrace the vastness of the world. With a flutter of her wings, Aurora took flight, leaving behind the safety of the forest and embarking on a journey into the great unknown. She soared high above the clouds, her heart filled with a sense of exhilaration and freedom unlike anything she had ever known. As Aurora journeyed across valleys and rivers, mountains and deserts, she encountered beings of every shape and size, each with their own hopes and dreams, fears and desires. And with each encounter, she learned valuable lessons about the nature of attachment and the power of letting go. In the depths of a dark forest, Aurora met a wise old owl who spoke of the burden of attachments, the invisible chains that bind us to the past and prevent us from embracing the present moment. True freedom, the owl whispered, lies not in holding on, but in letting go of our fears, our doubts, and our attachments to things that no longer serve us. Inspired by the owl's words, Aurora released the weight of her burdens, the doubts that had plagued her, the fears that had held her back, and soared even higher into the vast expanse of the sky. And as she journeyed onward, Aurora discovered a truth that resonated deep within her soul, a truth as ancient as the stars and as timeless as the heavens themselves. That true freedom is not found in the external world, but in the boundless depths of our own hearts. With this newfound wisdom, Aurora continued her journey, her wings carrying her ever onward towards the horizon, where the sun dipped below the edge of the earth and the stars twinkled like diamonds in the velvet sky. And though she knew not where her path would lead, she trusted in the infinite possibilities that lay ahead, knowing that true liberation awaited those who dared to let go and embrace the beauty of the unknown. In the heart of a dense jungle, where the emerald canopy stretched towards the heavens and the air hummed with the songs of exotic birds, there lived a majestic tiger named Raj, with sleek fur the color of burnished gold and eyes that gleamed like molten amber. Raj was revered as the undisputed king of the jungle. Yet, despite his fearsome reputation, Raj harbored a secret, a longing to discover the true extent of his strength and courage. For deep within the recesses of his heart, he knew that true greatness lay not in the fierceness of his roar, but in the courage to face life's challenges with unwavering resolve. One moonlit night, as the jungle hummed with the symphony of nocturnal creatures, Raj felt a stirring within his soul, a call to embark on a journey that would test his mettle and awaken the dormant power that lay within. With a mighty roar that echoed through the night, Raj set forth into the unknown, his powerful muscles rippling beneath his golden fur as he prowled through the dense undergrowth. As he journeyed deeper into the heart of the jungle, Raj encountered a series of trials that tested his courage and strength: a raging river that threatened to sweep him away, a treacherous ravine that tested his agility, and a band of fierce predators that sought to challenge his reign as king. Yet, with each obstacle he faced, Raj drew upon the untapped reservoirs of strength and courage that lay within him, facing each challenge head-on with a fierce determination that left his adversaries in awe. At last, after many trials and tribulations, Raj emerged victorious, his spirit ablaze with the fire of triumph and his heart filled with a newfound sense of purpose. For he had discovered that true courage was not the absence of fear, but the willingness to confront it head-on, to harness the power that lay within and emerge stronger on the other side. Returning to his jungle kingdom, Raj stood tall and proud, his eyes blazing with the fierce light of determination. And as he roared to the heavens, his voice rang out like thunder, a testament to the indomitable spirit of the tiger and the courage that dwelled within us all. From that day forth, Raj ruled over the jungle with a strength and wisdom born of his newfound courage, inspiring all who crossed his path to embrace their own innate power and face life's challenges with unwavering resolve. And though the jungle may be vast and full of dangers, Raj knew that with courage as his guide, he would fearlessly journey onward, forever exploring the depths of his own strength and embracing the challenges that lay ahead. In a serene lake bordered by lush reeds and towering willows, there lived a graceful swan named Luna, with feathers as white as freshly fallen snow and eyes that shimmered like the stars reflected in the water. Luna glided across the surface of the lake with effortless elegance. One radiant morning, as the sun painted the sky in hues of pink and gold, Luna felt a stirring within her soul, a call to surrender to the gentle currents of life and embrace the beauty of the present moment. With a graceful dip of her slender neck, Luna spread her wings and surrendered herself to the flow of the water, allowing it to carry her effortlessly across the shimmering surface of the lake. Luna felt a profound sense of peace wash over her, deep knowing that she was exactly where she was meant to be, guided by the unseen currents of fate. As Luna glided through the tranquil waters, she encountered a wise old turtle basking in the warmth of the morning sun. Intrigued by the turtle's serene presence, Luna approached him with a graceful bow. "Greetings, wise one," Luna said, her voice as soft as the rustling reeds. "I am Luna, the swan of the lake. Tell me, how do you find such peace amidst the chaos of the world?" The turtle regarded Luna with a knowing smile, his ancient eyes reflecting the wisdom of ages past. "Dear Luna," he said, "true peace can only be found in the surrender to the flow of life, to trust in the currents that guide us and embrace the beauty of each moment as it unfolds." Inspired by the turtle's words, Luna continued her journey with a newfound sense of grace and surrender, allowing herself to be carried by the gentle currents of the lake and embracing the beauty of each passing moment. As she glided across the water, Luna's heart overflowed with gratitude for the simple joys of life, the warmth of the sun on her feathers, the soft caress of the breeze against her skin, and the shimmering dance of light upon the water's surface. From that day forth, Luna lived her life with a grace and elegance born of her surrender to the flow of life, inspiring all who crossed her path to embrace the beauty of the present moment and trust in the unseen currents that guide us all. And though the world around her may change and evolve, Luna knew that as long as she remained true to the rhythm of her heart and surrendered to the flow of life, she would continue to glide gracefully through the waters of destiny, forever guided by the grace of the swan. In a serene village nestled amidst rolling hills and whispering forests, there lived a humble farmer named Hero. Hero tended to his crops with care, finding contentment in the rhythm of the seasons and the simple joys of rural life. One day, as Hero worked in his fields, his prized horse escaped from its pen and galloped into the wilderness. The villagers mourned the loss of such a valuable asset, but Hero remained unperturbed. "Do not fret," he said with a serene smile. "Who knows what blessings or misfortunes tomorrow may bring?" Sure enough, a few days later, the lost horse returned, leading a wild stallion of unmatched beauty and strength. The villagers marveled at Hero's good fortune, but Hero simply shrugged and continued his work. "Perhaps this is a blessing in disguise," he said calmly, "but who can say for certain?" Soon after, Hero's son, Takeshi, attempted to tame the wild stallion, only to be thrown from its back and break his leg. The villagers lamented the unfortunate turn of events, but Hero remained composed. "Do not despair," he reassured them. "Life is full of twists and turns, and we must accept whatever comes our way with equanimity." Weeks passed, and a war broke out in the neighboring kingdom. The king's soldiers swept through the village, conscripting able-bodied men to join the ranks of the army. Takeshi, with his broken leg, was spared from the draft, while many other young men were forced to leave their homes and families behind. As Hero watched his neighbors bid tearful farewells to their loved ones, he reflected on the unpredictable nature of life and the wisdom of accepting circumstances as they arise. Truly, he mused, the horse that was lost may have been a blessing in disguise, and the horse that was gained, a hidden calamity. And so, in a world filled with uncertainty and change, Hero remained steadfast in his acceptance of the ebb and flow of life, finding peace and contentment in each passing moment. In a bustling forest, where ancient trees whispered secrets to the wind and sunlight danced through the canopy, there lived a colony of ants. Among them was a young ant named Tylo, known for his boundless energy and insatiable curiosity. One bright morning, as Tylo scurried along the forest floor in search of food, he stumbled upon a wise old sage sitting beneath a towering oak tree. Intrigued by the sage's serene presence, Tylo approached him with a humble bow. "Greetings, young one," the sage said with a gentle smile. "I am the keeper of wisdom, and you have been chosen to learn the lessons of humility and diligence." Eager to embark on his quest, Tylo nodded eagerly, and the sage began to speak of the virtues of hard work and perseverance in the pursuit of spiritual growth. With each passing day, Tylo dedicated himself to his tasks with unwavering determination, tirelessly gathering food for the colony and tending to the needs of his fellow ants. Though the work was hard and the days long, Tylo approached each challenge with a humble heart and a steadfast resolve. As the seasons changed and the forest bloomed with new life, Tylo's efforts bore fruit, and the colony thrived under his diligent care. Yet, despite his newfound success, Tylo remained humble, never seeking praise or recognition for his deeds. One day, as Tylo rested beneath the shade of a fern, he was approached by a weary traveler, a butterfly whose wings had been tattered by the winds of adversity. "Dear ant," the butterfly said, "I have traveled far and wide in search of wisdom, yet it is here, in the simplicity of your actions, that I have found the true meaning of diligence and humility. Touched by the butterfly's words, Tylo bowed his head in gratitude, realizing that true greatness lay not in grand achievements or lofty ambitions, but in the quiet strength of a humble heart. From that day forth, Tylo continued his journey with renewed purpose, embodying the virtues of diligence and humility in all that he did. And though the path ahead may be long and challenging, he knew that with perseverance and humility, he could overcome any obstacle and achieve his spiritual goals. As the sun dipped below the horizon and the forest fell silent, Tylo gazed up at the star-filled sky, filled with a deep sense of peace and contentment. For he knew that no matter how small or insignificant he may seem in the vastness of the universe, his actions had the power to inspire greatness in others and illuminate the path to enlightenment for all beings, one humble step at a time. In a sun-kissed meadow, there bloomed a vibrant garden of sunflowers known as the Joyful Sunflower Garden. These cheerful flowers were special, for they had a unique ability. Their faces followed the sun as it journeyed across the sky. At the heart of the Joyful Sunflower Garden stood a wise old sunflower named Sunny, with petals as bright as the golden sun and a spirit as radiant as its rays. Sunny watched over the garden and its inhabitants with love and care. Every morning, as the sun peeked over the horizon, the sunflowers in the garden would turn their faces toward its warm embrace, their petals unfurling like golden rays reaching for the sky. Throughout the day, they would follow the sun's path across the heavens, their faces turning with each movement, as though dancing to an invisible melody. One day, a young girl named Maya visited the Joyful Sunflower Garden with her grandmother. Entranced by the sight of the sunflowers swaying in the breeze, Maya couldn't help but marvel at their beauty and wonder. "Why do the sunflowers follow the sun?" she asked her grandmother, her eyes wide with curiosity. Her grandmother smiled and patted her hand. "It's their way of seeking warmth and light," she explained. "Just like how we seek love and happiness in our lives." Maya nodded thoughtfully, her gaze lingering on Sunny, the wise old sunflower at the center of the garden. She felt a sense of admiration for the sunflowers and their unwavering devotion to the sun, even as it journeyed across the sky. As Maya watched, she noticed something remarkable. Even on cloudy days when the sun was hidden from view, the sunflowers still turned their faces toward where they knew it would be, their faith unwavering in its return. Inspired by the sunflower's resilience and optimism, Maya felt a warmth spread through her heart. She realized that, like the sunflowers, she too could find joy and strength in the face of adversity by following her own path and seeking the light within. From that day forth, whenever Maya felt lost or uncertain, she would think of the Joyful Sunflower Garden and the sunflower's unwavering devotion to the sun. And as she turned her face toward the light, she knew that she was not alone, for like the sunflowers, she was surrounded by love, warmth, and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. In the heart of a vast desert, where the sun blazed relentlessly and the sand stretched for miles in every direction, there lay a hidden gem known as the Tranquil Desert Oasis. This oasis was not just a patch of water in the desert. It was a sanctuary of calmness and serenity, offering respite to all who sought its shelter. At the center of the Tranquil Desert Oasis stood a crystal-clear pool, surrounded by lush palm trees and fragrant flowers. Despite the harsh conditions of the desert, this oasis remained an oasis of life, providing water and refuge to creatures great and small. One scorching afternoon, a weary traveler named Maya stumbled upon the Tranquil Desert Oasis. Dehydrated and exhausted from her journey, she collapsed beside the pool, her lips cracked and her throat parched. To her amazement, a gentle breeze rustled through the palm trees, carrying with it the sweet scent of the flowers and the soothing sound of trickling water. Maya felt a sense of calm wash over her, like a cool wave on a hot summer's day. As she drank from the pool and rested in the shade of the palm trees, Maya realized that she had found a haven of calmness in the midst of the desert. Here, amidst the harsh conditions of the desert, life flourished in abundance, and peace reigned supreme. From that day forth, Maya returned to the tranquil desert oasis whenever she felt overwhelmed by the chaos of the world. She would sit beside the pool, listening to the gentle rustle of the palm trees and watching the sunlight dance upon the water, feeling a sense of calmness and serenity wash over her. And as she gazed upon the oasis, Maya knew that she had found a place of refuge and renewal, the sanctuary of peace in the midst of the desert's harshness, where life flourished and calmness reigned supreme for all who sought its shelter. In a sun-kissed meadow where wildflowers swayed in the gentle breeze, there lived a group of dandelions known as the laughing dandelions. Despite their humble appearance, these cheerful flowers possessed a magical gift. They could spread smiles wherever they went. Every morning, as the first light of dawn painted the sky in shades of pink and gold, the laughing dandelions would awaken with laughter bubbling from their petals. With each giggle, tiny droplets of dew would scatter into the air, catching the sunlight and creating a dazzling display of sparkle and shine. One day, a young girl named Lily stumbled upon the meadow where the laughing dandelions dwelled. Intrigued by the sound of laughter, she followed the sound until she came upon the cheerful flowers, their golden heads bobbing in the breeze. "Hello, little ones," greeted Lily, her voice soft and curious. "What brings you such joy?" The laughing dandelions swayed in the wind, their laughter growing louder as they welcomed Lily into their midst. "We spread smiles wherever we go," they exclaimed, their voices tinkling like bells in the air. Intrigued by their claim, Lily watched as the laughing dandelions scattered their seeds into the wind, their laughter mingling with the rustle of leaves and the chirping of birds. And to her amazement, wherever the seeds landed, they sprouted into tiny dandelions, each one bursting with laughter and joy. As Lily watched the dandelions dance in the sunlight, she felt a warmth spread through her heart. She realized that even the smallest acts of kindness, like sharing a smile or a laugh, could brighten someone's day and spread happiness far and wide. From that day forth, whenever Lily felt sad or lonely, she would return to the meadow where the laughing dandelions dwelled, allowing their laughter to lift her spirits and fill her heart with joy. And as she danced among the flowers, she knew that she was never truly alone, for the laughing dandelions were always there to spread smiles and laughter wherever they went. In a vast forest nestled between towering mountains, there resided a compassionate bear named Benjamin. Benjamin was known throughout the forest for his kind heart and willingness to help others in need. His home, the compassionate bear's den, was not just a cozy cave amidst the trees. It was a sanctuary of warmth and shelter for all creatures, big and small. One stormy night, as rain lashed against the trees and thunder rumbled in the distance, a timid fox named Felix found himself lost and alone in the forest. Seeking refuge from the harsh elements, Felix stumbled upon the compassionate bear's den. With a hesitant paw, Felix approached the den, his heart pounding with fear. To his surprise, Benjamin greeted him with a warm smile and invited him inside. "Welcome, little one," said Benjamin, his voice gentle and reassuring. "You are safe here. Come, rest by the fire and warm yourself." Grateful for Benjamin's kindness, Felix curled up by the fire, feeling the warmth seep into his bones. As he listened to the comforting crackle of the flames, he felt a sense of peace wash over him, knowing that he was no longer alone in the storm. As the night wore on, Benjamin shared stories of the forest and its inhabitants, filling the den with laughter and joy. Felix listened intently, his fears fading away with each tale. When morning broke and the storm had passed, Felix prepared to leave the compassionate bear's den and continue his journey through the forest. But before he could go, Benjamin stopped him with a gentle paw. "Remember, Felix," said Benjamin, his eyes filled with warmth, "no matter where your journey may take you, you will always have a friend and a shelter here in the compassionate bear's den." Touched by Benjamin's words, Felix nodded gratefully and bid farewell to his newfound friend. As he ventured back into the forest, he carried with him the memory of the compassionate bear's den and the kindness of its inhabitant, knowing that no matter what challenges he faced, he would always find shelter and comfort in times of need. And as Benjamin watched Felix disappear into the trees, he smiled, knowing that he had fulfilled his purpose as the guardian of the compassionate bear's den to offer shelter and solace to those who needed it most, and to spread kindness and compassion throughout the forest, one act of generosity at a time. In the heart of an ancient eucalyptus forest, there lived a compassionate koala named Cora. With her soft fur and gentle eyes, Cora was loved by all the creatures of the forest for her kind and caring nature. One day, as Cora ventured through the treetops in search of juicy eucalyptus leaves, she heard a faint cry for help echoing through the forest. Following the sound, Cora discovered a young possum named Pippin stranded on a high branch, too scared to climb down. With a warm smile, Cora approached Pippin and gently offered her paw. "Don't worry, little one," she reassured. "I'll help you down safely." Grateful for Cora's kindness, Pippin timidly accepted her offer and clasped onto Cora's furry arm. With slow and deliberate movements, Cora guided Pippin down the tree, reassuring her with soothing words along the way. As they reached the forest floor, Pippin let out a sigh of relief, her eyes shining with gratitude. "Thank you, Cora," she said. "You're the kindest koala in the whole forest." Cora smiled warmly at Pippin. "It was my pleasure to help," she replied. "Remember, we all need a helping hand from time to time." From that day on, Cora made it her mission to lend a helping hand to any creature in need. Whether it was rescuing a bird's nest from a high branch or guiding a lost squirrel back to its family, Cora's compassionate heart knew no bounds. And as news of Cora's kindness spread throughout the forest, the creatures began to look up to her as a symbol of compassion and generosity. For in a world where kindness often feels scarce, Cora's actions served as a reminder that even the smallest acts of compassion can make a world of difference. As the sun set over the eucalyptus forest, Cora climbed to her favorite tree branch and gazed out at the twinkling stars above. And as she closed her eyes, her heart filled with a sense of peace and fulfillment, knowing that she had made a positive impact on the lives of those around her. For Cora, the true joy of life lay not in climbing the tallest trees or reaching the highest branches, but in lending a helping hand to those in need and spreading kindness and compassion wherever she went. In a tranquil forest nestled between towering trees, there stood a wise old pinnacle named Piney. Though small and unassuming, Piney possessed a special gift, the ability to listen and hold the secrets of the forest within its tiny core. One sunny morning, as the forest was bathed in golden light, a curious rabbit named Rosie hopped into Piney's grove. Intrigued by the tales she had heard of the whispering pinnacle, Rosie approached Piney with a shy smile. "Hello, Piney," greeted Rosie, her voice soft as the breeze. "I've heard that you hold the secrets of the forest within you. Is it true?" Piney nodded gently, its scales rustling with a soft sigh. "Yes, little one," replied Piney. "I have listened to the whispers of the trees and the songs of the birds, and I hold their secrets within my core." Rosie's eyes widened with wonder. "Could you share some of those secrets with me?" she asked, her ears twitching with excitement. Piney hesitated for a moment before nodding. "Of course, little one," said Piney, "but first, we must listen." And so, Rosie and Piney sat together in the dappled sunlight, their hearts attuned to the rhythm of the forest. They listened as the wind whispered through the trees, as the birds sang their sweet melodies, and as the leaves rustled in the gentle breeze. As they listened, Rosie felt a sense of calm wash over her, as if the worries of the world were melting away like morning dew in the warmth of the sun. She realized that in the quiet stillness of the forest, she could find peace and solace in the simple act of listening. When the sun began to set and the forest grew quiet, Piney spoke once more. "The greatest secret of all, little one, is the power of silence," whispered Piney, "for in the silence, we find the space to listen, to learn, and to grow." Rosie nodded in understanding, her heart filled with gratitude for the wisdom of the whispering pinnacle. With a gentle smile, she bid Piney farewell and ventured back into the forest, carrying with her the seeds of silence that would guide her on her journey through life. And as she hopped away, Piney whispered a silent prayer, knowing that Rosie would carry the secrets of the forest within her heart, nurturing them like precious seeds and allowing them to grow and flourish in the fertile soil of her soul. Deep within the heart of a dense bamboo forest, there lived a kind and compassionate red panda named Rufus, with his rust-colored fur and gentle eyes. Rufus was known throughout the forest as the guardian, always ready to lend a helping paw to those in need. One sunny morning, as Rufus patrolled the forest, he stumbled upon a group of frightened animals huddled together beneath a towering oak tree. Their home was threatened by a raging wildfire, and they didn't know where to turn. Seeing the fear in their eyes, Rufus sprang into action. He rallied the animals together and led them through hidden paths and secret trails, guiding them to safety away from the flames. As the fire raged on, Rufus refused to rest until every creature in the forest was safe. He braved the heat and smoke, darting back and forth through the burning underbrush, rescuing trapped animals and leading them to safety. When the last ember had finally been extinguished, the animals gathered around Rufus, their eyes shining with gratitude. They hailed him as their hero and thanked him for his bravery and selflessness in the face of danger. But Rufus simply smiled and shook his head. "I am no hero," he said humbly. "I am just a humble red panda who cares deeply for the forest and all who dwell within it." From that day forth, Rufus was known as the guardian of the forest, revered by all for his courage and compassion. And though he may have been small in size, his heart was as big as the forest itself, a shining example of the power of kindness and empathy in the face of adversity. And as he watched over the forest from his perch in the treetops, Rufus knew that he would always be there to protect and care for his beloved home, ensuring that it remained a safe haven for all who sought shelter beneath its canopy. In a vibrant garden filled with blooming flowers and buzzing bees, there lived a tiny hummingbird named Ruby, with feathers as bright as rubies and a heart full of joy. Ruby was known throughout the garden for her boundless energy and infectious laughter. Every morning, as the first light of dawn painted the sky in shades of pink and gold, Ruby would awaken with a song in her heart. With a flutter of her wings, she would dart from flower to flower, sipping nectar and spreading joy wherever she went. One day, as Ruby flitted among the flowers, she noticed a group of butterflies dancing in the sunlight. Envious of their graceful flight, she longed to join them in their joyful dance. "Oh, how I wish I could fly like them," sighed Ruby, her voice filled with longing. To her surprise, a wise old bee named Buzz overheard Ruby's lament and buzzed over to her with a gentle smile. "Do not be disheartened, little one," said Buzz, his voice as sweet as honey. "You may not have wings like the butterflies, but you have something even more special, gift of joy." Ruby tilted her head, puzzled. "But how can my joy help me fly?" she asked. Buzz chuckled softly and landed on a nearby flower, his wings buzzing with excitement. "Close your eyes and feel the joy within your heart," he instructed. "Let it lift you up and carry you on the wind." With a leap of faith, Ruby closed her eyes and let herself be carried away by the music of her heart. To her amazement, she felt herself rising into the air, her wings beating in time with the rhythm of her joy. As she soared through the garden, Ruby realized that it wasn't the size of her wings that mattered, but the joy in her heart that gave her the power to fly. With each beat of her wings, she spread happiness and laughter to all who watched her darting through the air. From that day forth, Ruby embraced her unique gift with delight, knowing that true joy was not found in soaring to great heights, but in savoring each moment and spreading happiness wherever she went. And as she danced through the garden, her laughter echoed in the breeze, a reminder to all that even the smallest creatures can make the biggest impact when they live with joy in their hearts. In a lush meadow nestled beneath the shade of towering trees, there lived a community of crickets known as the Contented Crickets. Each evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, they would gather together to create their melodious chorus, filling the air with the sweet sounds of their songs. Led by their wise elder, Crispin, the contented crickets believed in the power of harmony and unity. They understood that by singing together, they could create something truly magical, a symphony that echoed through the meadow and touched the hearts of all who heard it. One summer evening, as the contented crickets prepared to begin their nightly chorus, they noticed that one of their members, a young cricket named Jasper, seemed troubled. His chirps were out of tune, and his movements were hesitant. "What troubles you, young Jasper?" asked Crispin, his antennae twitching with concern. Jasper sighed, his eyes downcast. "I fear that I do not belong in the chorus," he confessed. "My chirps are not as beautiful as yours, and I fear I am bringing discord to our harmony." Crispin smiled gently and placed a comforting claw on Jasper's shoulder. "Do not be disheartened, my friend," he said. "Each cricket has a unique voice, and it is the combination of our differences that makes our chorus truly special." With Crispin's encouragement, Jasper took a deep breath and joined his fellow crickets in song. At first, his chirps were hesitant and uncertain, but as he listened to the harmonious melodies of his companions, he found the courage to let his voice ring out. And to his surprise, Jasper discovered that his chirps added a new dimension to the chorus, filling the gaps between the other crickets' songs with a delicate counterpoint that complemented their melodies perfectly. As the contented crickets' chorus echoed through the meadow, Jasper felt a sense of belonging unlike anything he had ever known. He realized that his voice, though different from the others, was an essential part of the harmony they created together. From that day forth, Jasper sang with confidence and joy, his chirps blending seamlessly with those of his fellow crickets. And as they sang, they knew that their chorus was a testament to the power of unity and acceptance, proving that when we embrace our differences and sing in harmony, we can create something truly beautiful that resonates throughout the world. In a peaceful garden at the edge of a bustling town, there hung a set of wind chimes unlike any other. They were known as the laughing wind chimes, for whenever the gentle breeze swept through the garden, they would fill the air with the most delightful laughter. Each chime had its own unique voice and personality. There was Melody, whose tinkling laughter was as light as a summer breeze. Harmony, whose deep, resonant tones echoed like distant thunder. And Joy, whose playful giggles danced on the wind like raindrops on a pond. Together, the laughing wind chimes created a symphony of sound that enchanted all who heard it. Their laughter brought joy and warmth to the hearts of the townsfolk, lifting their spirits on even the gloomiest of days. But one day, a fierce storm swept through the town, its howling winds threatening to tear the laughing wind chimes from their perch in the garden. As the chimes clanged and rattled in the tempest, fear gripped their hearts. "We must hold on, dear friends," cried Melody, her delicate notes quivering with uncertainty. "If we stay strong and support each other, we can weather this storm together." With a determined nod, Harmony joined his voice with Melody's, adding his deep tones to the cacophony of sound. "We are stronger together than we are apart," he proclaimed, his voice booming like distant thunder. And so, with their voices united in harmony, the laughing wind chimes braved the storm. Though the wind howled and the rain lashed against them, they held fast to each other, refusing to be torn apart. As the storm clouds finally parted and the sun emerged once more, the laughing wind chimes found themselves still hanging in the garden, battered but unbroken. And as the gentle breeze began to stir once more, they began to laugh. Their laughter rang out through the garden, more joyous and triumphant than ever before. For they had faced the storm together and emerged stronger for it, their voices singing in harmony as a testament to the power of friendship and unity. And from that day forth, whenever the wind blew through the garden, the laughing wind chimes sang out with even greater joy and resilience, their laughter echoing through the town and reminding all who heard it of the strength that lies in coming together as one. In a sunlit corner of a vibrant garden, there bloomed a patch of colorful flowers, surrounded by delicate foliage. This was the joyful butterfly garden, where the air buzzed with the soft flutter of butterfly wings and the sweet scent of nectar filled the air. Among the flowers danced a group of butterflies, their wings adorned with vibrant hues of blue, orange, and yellow. Led by their fearless leader, Bella the butterfly, they flitted and soared through the air, their laughter echoing in the breeze. One day, a young caterpillar named Oliver gazed in awe at the butterflies as they danced among the flowers. Envious of their graceful flight, he longed to join them in their joyful dance. "Oh, how I wish I could fly like them," sighed Oliver, his voice filled with longing. Bella, hearing Oliver's lament, fluttered over to him with a gentle smile. "Do not despair, little one," she said. "With patience and determination, anything is possible." Encouraged by Bella's words, Oliver began his transformation, fitting himself a cozy cocoon where he could rest and grow. For days, he remained hidden away, undergoing a miraculous metamorphosis that would change him forever. And then, one sunny morning, Oliver emerged from his cocoon, his body transformed into that of a beautiful butterfly. With a joyous flutter of his wings, he took to the air, joining Bella and the other butterflies in their dance among the flowers. As Oliver soared through the garden, he felt a sense of freedom unlike anything he had ever known. No longer confined to the ground, he could explore the world from a new perspective, his wings carrying him to heights he had only dreamed of. From that day forth, Oliver became a beloved member of the joyful butterfly garden, his vibrant wings adding to the kaleidoscope of colors that filled the air. And though he had once been a humble caterpillar, he now knew the true meaning of freedom. The freedom to spread his wings and soar among the flowers, forever grateful for the gift of flight. In a quiet meadow nestled between towering trees, there lived a colony of fireflies known for their mesmerizing nighttime displays. They called it the reflective firefly dance, where every night, they would illuminate the darkness with their graceful movements. At the heart of the reflective firefly dance lived a young firefly named Ember, and like the others, Ember's glow was dimmer, and she often felt self-conscious about her appearance. One moonlit night, as the other fireflies danced and shimmered in the darkness, Ember watched from the sidelines, feeling envious of their radiant glow. She longed to shine as brightly as them and be a part of the beautiful dance that illuminated the night. As Ember sat alone, feeling sorry for herself, an old firefly named Lumina approached her with a warm smile. Lumina had seen Ember watching from afar and sensed her longing to join in the dance. "Ember, my dear," Lumina said gently, "your light may be dimmer than the others, but it is no less beautiful. Each firefly shines in their own unique way, and together, we create a symphony of light that illuminates the night." Ember listened to Lumina's words, feeling a glimmer of hope in her heart. Maybe she didn't need to shine as brightly as the others to be a part of the dance. Maybe her dim light had its own beauty, waiting to be discovered. With newfound confidence, Ember fluttered her wings and joined the other fireflies in their dance. As she twirled and spun through the air, her dim light mingled with the others, creating a tapestry of shimmering colors that painted the night sky. And as the moon smiled down upon them, Ember realized that true beauty didn't come from shining the brightest or being the most radiant. It came from embracing who you were and sharing your light with the world, no matter how dim it may seem. From that night on, Ember danced with joy and confidence, knowing that her light, though dim, was a vital part of the reflective firefly dance, and as she illuminated the night with her gentle glow, she knew that she was truly shining from within, lighting up the darkness with her own unique brilliance. In a cozy corner of the forest, there lived a compassionate spider named Ariella. And like other spiders who spun webs solely for catching prey, Ariella believed in the power of connection and kindness. She spent her days weaving intricate webs not only to trap insects but also to create a network of support and friendship among the creatures of the forest. One sunny morning, As Ariella worked diligently on her latest web, she noticed a group of insects buzzing about, their wings fluttering with excitement. Curious, Ariella paused her weaving and approached the insects with a warm smile. "Greetings, dear friends," she chirped, her 8 legs skittering gracefully across the forest floor. "What brings you to my humble corner of the woods?" The insects hesitated for a moment, unsure of how to respond to a spider who didn't seem interested in making them her next meal. But Ariella's gentle demeanor put them at ease, and soon they were sharing stories of their lives and dreams. Moved by their tales of struggle and resilience, Ariella knew she had found her calling. With a twinkle in her many eyes, she invited the insects to join her in weaving a web of compassion and unity that would stretch across the entire forest. Together, Ariella and her new friends set to work, each contributing their unique talents to the task at hand. The ants brought their strength and determination, the bees their industriousness and sweetness, and the butterflies their grace and beauty. Day by day, the compassionate spider's web grew stronger and more intricate, shimmering like a delicate tapestry in the dappled sunlight. It became a place of refuge for creatures big and small, a sanctuary where they could find solace and support in times of need. But Ariella's web was not just a physical structure. It was a symbol of the connections that bound them all together. Through acts of kindness and empathy, the creatures of the forest discovered the true power of unity and solidarity. As seasons changed and years passed, Ariella's web remained a beacon of hope and compassion in the heart of the forest. And though the compassionate spider herself eventually passed on, her legacy lived on in the bonds of friendship and love that endured among the creatures she had touched. And so, the story of the compassionate spider's web was passed down from generation to generation, a reminder that in a world filled with division and strife, it is kindness and connection that truly hold the power to heal and unite us all. In a bustling city, amidst the towering buildings and busy streets, there lived a joyful sparrow named Sparrow. With feathers as brown as autumn leaves and eyes as bright as the morning sun, Sparrow was known throughout the city for his boundless energy and infectious laughter. Every morning, Sparrow would wake with the first light of dawn, eager to greet the day with a song in his heart and a flutter of his wings. He would take to the sky, weaving between the skyscrapers and darting through the bustling streets, his laughter echoing through the city like a melody. But despite his love for the city, Sparrow often longed for something more, of a sense of freedom and adventure that could only be found beyond the confines of the city streets. One day, as Sparrow perched upon a windowsill overlooking the city, he felt a gentle breeze ruffle his feathers, carrying with it the scent of distant lands and endless skies. Inspired by the call of the wind, Sparrow spread his wings and took to the sky, his heart filled with excitement and anticipation. As he soared higher and higher, leaving the city far below, Sparrow felt a sense of freedom unlike anything he had ever known. He watched as the buildings grew smaller and smaller, until they were nothing more than tiny specks on the horizon, and the streets faded away into a blur of color and light. For hours, Sparrow flew, reveling in the sensation of the wind rushing past him and the endless expanse of sky stretching out before him. He flew over rolling hills and lush forests, soaring through valleys and across wide-open plains, his heart soaring with each beat of his wings. As the sun began to set and the sky turned pink and gold, Sparrow knew that it was time to return home. With a final sweep of his wings, he turned back towards the city, his heart filled with gratitude for the adventure he had experienced and the freedom he had found. And as he flew back towards the familiar skyline, Sparrow knew that no matter where his adventures took him, he would always carry with him the memory of that day, the day he had soared with freedom, like a joyful sparrow dancing on the wind. In a small village nestled between rolling hills and whispering trees, there existed a place of quiet wonder known as the tranquil night sky. Each evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the world grew quiet, the night sky would come alive with twinkling stars, casting a blanket of peace over the land. Among the villagers who marveled at the beauty of the tranquil night sky was a young girl named Luna. Luna was fascinated by the stars, finding solace in their gentle glow and finding peace in the vastness of the universe. One clear night, as Luna lay beneath the star-studded sky, she noticed a shooting star streaking across the heavens. With a whispered wish, she closed her eyes and imagined herself soaring among the stars, exploring the mysteries of the cosmos. As Luna drifted into sleep, she found herself transported to a world of endless possibility, where she danced among the stars and traveled through galaxies unknown. She marveled at the beauty of distant planets and the shimmering light of distant stars, feeling a sense of awe and wonder like never before. But as the night wore on and Luna's adventures came to an end, she found herself longing to return to the tranquility of her own village, where the stars of peace above cast their gentle glow over the land. With a contented sigh, Luna opened her eyes to find herself back beneath the tranquil night sky, her heart filled with gratitude for the beauty of the universe and the peace it brought to her soul. From that night on, Luna cherished the tranquil night sky more than ever before, finding comfort in the stars of peace above and knowing that no matter where life's journey took her, she would always find solace in the quiet beauty of the night sky. And as she drifted off to sleep each night, she whispered a silent thank you to the stars above, grateful for the peace they brought to her heart and the wonder they sparked in her soul. In the vast expanse of the ocean, there swam a magnificent whale named Willow. Willow was not just any whale. She was known far and wide for her boundless compassion and kindness towards all creatures of the sea. One stormy night, as the waves crashed and the winds howled, Willow spotted a small group of fish struggling to find shelter from the raging tempest. Without hesitation, she swam towards them, her massive body providing a safe haven from the tumultuous waters. "Come close, little ones," Willow called out, her voice as soothing as the gentle lapping of waves against the shore. "You are welcome here." Gratefully, the fish darted towards Willow, seeking refuge beneath her massive form. As the storm raged on, Willow shielded them from the worst of the elements, her sheer presence offering comfort and protection. As dawn broke and the storm began to subside, the fish emerged from their sanctuary, their scales glistening in the morning sunlight. They circled around Willow, their eyes shining with gratitude. "Thank you, Willow," they chorused, their voices filled with emotion. "You saved us from the storm." Willow smiled warmly at her newfound friends. "It was my pleasure," she replied. "Remember, in times of trouble, it is important to lend a helping fin to those in need." From that day forth, Willow became known as the compassionate whale, revered by all who dwelled in the ocean for her selfless acts of kindness. And though she continued to roam the seas, her heart remained ever open to those in need, offering shelter and solace to all who sought refuge beneath her benevolent gaze. And so, the legend of the compassionate whale spread far and wide, inspiring creatures of the sea to follow in Willow's footsteps and spread compassion and kindness wherever they went. For in a world filled with storms, it is the shelter of a kind heart that truly brings light to the darkest of days. In a cozy forest nestled beneath the shadow of a towering oak tree, there lived a young cuckoo named Cedric. Unlike the other birds in the forest who sang sweet melodies throughout the day, Cedric struggled to find his voice. Every morning, as the first light of dawn broke through the treetops, Cedric would watch in envy as the other birds filled the forest with their beautiful songs. Try as he might, Cedric could only manage a feeble chirp that paled in comparison to the symphony of sound around him. Feeling disheartened, Cedric would retreat to his nest, convinced that he would never find his voice. But deep down, a flicker of hope remained alive within him, urging him to keep trying. One day, as Cedric sat alone in his nest, listening to the chorus of birdsong outside, he heard a gentle voice calling to him from the branches above. "Cedric, my dear friend," called the wise old owl who perched in the oak tree, "why do you hide away in your nest when you have a voice waiting to be heard?" Startled, Cedric looked up at the owl with wide eyes. But my voice is nothing compared to theirs, he sighed, his feathers drooping with disappointment. The owl hooted softly, its eyes shining with wisdom. Your voice may be different from theirs, Cedric, but that does not make it any less beautiful. Embrace who you are, and let your unique song shine through. Inspired by the owl's words, Cedric took a deep breath and let out a tentative chirp. To his surprise, the sound echoed through the forest, carrying with it a melody that was uniquely his own. Encouraged by this small success, Cedric began to sing more confidently, letting his voice soar through the trees with a joyous abandon. Though his song may have been simple, it was filled with a warmth and sincerity that touched the hearts of all who heard it. And so, Cedric the cuckoo found his voice, not by trying to mimic the songs of others, but by embracing his own unique sound. From that day forth, his cheerful call could be heard echoing through the forest, a reminder to all who listen that true beauty lies in being true to oneself. And as the seasons changed and the years passed, Cedric's song became a beloved part of the forest symphony, a testament to the power of finding your voice and letting it ring out with pride for all the world to hear. In a quiet forest nestled between two towering mountains, there lived a group of autumn leaves known as the tranquil autumn leaves. Each year, as the air grew crisp and the days grew shorter, they adorned the trees in a riot of colors, painting the forest in shades of gold, red, and orange. As the season changed and the days grew cooler, the tranquil autumn leaves knew it was time for their annual journey. With a gentle rustle and a whisper of farewell, they bid farewell to the branches that had been their home and set out on their descent to the forest floor below. Unlike the hurried rush of the summer breeze, the tranquil autumn leaves fell gracefully, their descent slow and deliberate. They danced and twirled through the air, savoring the freedom of flight before finally coming to rest upon the soft carpet of moss below. As they settled into their new home, the tranquil autumn leaves embraced the tranquility of the forest, their vibrant colors fading to muted hues as they prepared for the long winter ahead. They knew that their time on the forest floor was fleeting, but they savored every moment, relishing in the peace and quiet of the autumn woods. Meanwhile, the creatures of the forest watched in wonder as the tranquil autumn leaves fell gracefully from the trees above. Squirrels scurried about, gathering acorns for the winter, while birds sang songs of farewell to their departing friends. Even the youngest of the forest creatures, a curious rabbit named Rosie, paused in her play to admire the beauty of the tranquil autumn leaves as they floated gently to the ground. "Look, Mama," she exclaimed, her eyes shining with excitement. "The leaves are falling so gracefully, like dancers in the wind." Her mother smiled and nodded, her heart filled with gratitude for the beauty of the autumn woods. "Yes, my dear," she replied. The tranquil autumn leaves remind us that even in the midst of change, there is always beauty to be found. And so, as the days grew shorter and winter drew near, the tranquil autumn leaves continued to fall gracefully, their journey a testament to the beauty of letting go and embracing the changing seasons. And though they would soon be swept away by the winter winds, their memory would live on in the hearts of all who had witnessed their graceful descent. In a serene garden tucked away in the heart of a bustling city, there stood a solitary bonsai tree known as the Zen bonsai tree, and like the tall and majestic trees that surrounded it, the Zen bonsai tree was small in stature, its branches meticulously pruned and shaped into elegant forms. Despite its diminutive size, the Zen bonsai tree exuded a sense of tranquility and grace that captivated all who beheld it. Its branches reached outwards in gentle arcs, each leaf and twig perfectly placed to create a harmonious composition. One day, a young girl named Emiya wandered into the garden, her eyes wide with wonder at the sight of the Zen bonsai tree. Intrigued by its beauty, she approached the tree with cautious steps, her fingers brushing lightly against its delicate foliage. "Hello, little tree," Emiya whispered, her voice barely louder than a breeze. "What secrets do you hold?" To May's surprise, the Zen bonsai tree seemed to respond, its branches swaying gently in the wind as if in greeting. Entranced by its silent wisdom, I sat down beside the tree and listened intently to the whispers of the breeze. As she sat in quiet contemplation, I realized that the Zen bonsai tree embodied the principles of Zen philosophy: simplicity, balance, and harmony. Despite being confined to a small pot, it radiated a sense of inner peace and contentment that transcended its physical limitations. Inspired by the Zen bonsai tree's serene presence, I began to see the beauty in containment. She understood that true happiness does not come from the pursuit of grandeur or excess, but from finding peace and contentment in the present moment. From that day forth, I visited the Zen bonsai tree regularly, finding solace and inspiration in its quiet company. And as she grew older, she carried the lessons she learned from the tree with her, applying them to her own life with grace and wisdom. And so, the Zen bonsai tree continued to stand as a symbol of beauty and containment, reminding all who encountered it of the profound wisdom that can be found in simplicity and the quiet strength that lies within us all. In a distant land, where the breeze carried secrets of the ancient world, there stood a magnificent bamboo forest known as the Whispering Bamboo Forest. Its slender stalks swayed gracefully in the wind, creating a symphony of soft whispers that echoed through the trees. Within the heart of this enchanted forest lived a wise old panda named Pang. Pang had spent many years among the bamboo, listening to its gentle murmurs and learning its secrets. He was known far and wide for his wisdom and kindness. One day, a curious young fox named Luna ventured into the Whispering Bamboo Forest in search of answers. She had heard tales of Pang's wisdom and hoped he could help her solve a problem that had been troubling her. As Luna wandered through the forest, she heard the soft whispers of the bamboo all around her. Intrigued, she followed the sound until she came upon Pang, sitting peacefully beneath a towering bamboo canopy. "Hello, young one," greeted Pang with a warm smile. "What brings you to the Whispering Bamboo Forest?" Luna approached Pang timidly, her eyes wide with wonder. "I have come seeking your wisdom," she said. "I am faced with a difficult decision, and I do not know what to do." Pang listened attentively as Luna shared her dilemma. With each word, his wise old eyes twinkled with understanding. "My dear Luna," Pang said gently, "the answers you seek may not always be found in the words of others. Sometimes, the greatest wisdom lies within ourselves, waiting to be discovered." With Pang's guidance, Luna closed her eyes and listened to the whispers of the bamboo. She felt a sense of peace wash over her as the gentle murmurs filled her heart with clarity. When Luna opened her eyes again, she knew what she must do. With gratitude in her heart, she bid farewell to Pang and set off to face her challenges with newfound courage and confidence. As Luna journeyed through the forest, she carried with her the lessons she had learned from Pang and the Whispering Bamboo Forest. And though the path ahead was uncertain, she knew that as long as she listened to the whispers of her own heart, she would always find her way. And so, the legend of the Whispering Bamboo Forest and its wise old guardian, Pang, continued to inspire all who sought guidance and wisdom, reminding them that sometimes, the greatest stories of wisdom are whispered on the wind, waiting to be heard by those who listen with an open heart.